dad passing by his son's bedroom was astonished to see the bed was nicely made and everything was picked up. Then he saw an envelope propped up prominently on the pillow. It was addressed. Dad, with the worst premonition, he opened the envelope and read the letter with trembling hand. Dear Dad, it is with great regret and sorrow that I'm writing you. I had to elope with my new girlfriend because I wanted to avoid a scene with Mom and you. I've been finding real passion with Stacy and she is so nice. But I knew you would not approve of her because of her piercings, tattoos, tight motorcycle clothes, and because she is so much older than I am. But it's not only the passion, Dad. She's pregnant. Stacy said that we will be very happy. She owns a trailer in the woods and has a stack of firewood for the whole winter. We share a dream of having many more children. Stacy has opened my eyes to the fact that marijuana doesn't really hurt anyone. We'll be growing it ourselves and trading it with the other people in the commune for all the cocaine and ecstasy we want. In the meantime, we'll pray that science will find a cure for AIDS so Stacy can get better. She sure deserves it. I'm 15, and I know how to take care of myself. Someday I'm sure we'll be back to visit so you can get to know your many grandchildren. Dad, none of the above is true. I'm over at Jason's house. I just wanted to remind you that there are worse things in life than the school report card that's on the kitchen table. Your loving son, Jonathan.
Teenagers are the worst. The other day, my little girl talked back to her mother. My wife told her to do something, and she said no. I don't want to. I had to pull her aside, and I said, hey, listen, you got to teach me how to do that.
Being a mom is the most difficult job on the planet. How many mothers died on ice road truckers last season? Any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what would you rather have as a job? You want to scoop scallops off the bottom of the ocean, catching that lobster trap to the back of your head? Or do you want to hang in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You'd send them to bed anytime you wanted, on some trumped up charges because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I thought it was roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. I thought that was a difficult job, but evidently these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players, going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke! You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, hell on the home front. There's another shirt you gotta wash. Oh, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. Dude, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Job listing, parent, I would never accept that job in an interview. They'd be like, do you want this full-time job? Oh, well, what does it pay? Oh, it doesn't pay. You pay thousands for at least 18 years, or you could go to jail. What do I get out of it? You get judged for asking that question. What do you get out of it? You get love for no longer than 13 years, 10 to 13 years at best. And then you get judged and resented for 5 to 10 years after that. And then you get love again based on how much money you give them. I'm not saying that kids aren't worth it. I'm just saying that they cost more than they're worth.
But being a parent is not that different from being a tourist. It's essentially the same experience. In both, you walk around exhausted, spending money you don't have while you look for a bathroom. It's the same experience.
Have a kid. That's what everyone says. Have a kid. When are you going to have a kid? You know why people have kids? Because they're easy to make. You have sex. That's it. That's why people have them. I wonder how many people would have kids if it was hard to make a kid. What if the only way you get pregnant is both people have to run a marathon? There'd be like 9 kids in the world. They'd all be from Kenya.
Mom would take 30 words to say what Dad would say in one. Mom speaks.
Stop that bloody fighting, you two. Bloody go outside and play in the sun. You kids, sitting all day watching bloody TV getting square eyes while only my freaking feet giving me the shits. Only times I get a bloody break is when I ain't saying anything at all. Now I'm freaking listening to little rugrats. You'll wake up one day, and I bloody won't be cooking. All you will be having Cocoa Pops for dinner.
Dad would just pop his head around the corner and say,
Brad Pitt here, speaking for The Undertaker Navigator, thanking you once again for your viewership. Artificial intelligence is producing an unbelievable number of audio and visual tools that a creator can use to bring humor and levity to our otherwise stressful world. The old navigator just wants to relieve some of those awful stresses that all of us endure in our lives as we try to make a living, provide for our families, and hopefully make the world a little bit better place to live. I am truly his very devoted friend, willing to contribute to his channel at the drop of a hat. If you believe that BS, I also have a bridge in Brooklyn that I will sell you on the cheap. You can contact me at Brad66 at Cheap Bridge. When I was a kid, my mom always said that you have to eat everything from your plate. You have to eat all the food because there is starvation in Africa. And then I ate every day. And then I grew a bit older and I started to think that, how have I helped the situation in Africa? I learned something with kids early on. Don't yell at them. Can't yell at them. If it worked, I would do it all day long, but it doesn't. And if you yell too much, eventually they get your frequency. And all of them have this weird internal Bose noise canceling system. And once they get your yell frequency, it's over. To them, you just sound like a Yamaha way in the distance. I told you kids to turn this television off and clean your rooms in another. I have stood in front of my children and realized, wow, they're watching television through me right now. So as a parent, you need to develop a second voice. I call it the "you're dead" voice. There's a lot of dads out there that know what I'm talking about. It's a voice you only use once in a while. You need to only have a big life lesson, a big life download. That's what you got to use it for. First time I used it on my son, he was 7. My voice is a combination of Barry White, Clint Eastwood, and Darth Vader, thank you. We caught him lying, and he was at the age where he thought he invented lying. Turns out he thought if you don't tell him he's lying, he thinks he could get away with anything. He's an idiot and we had him. It was like CSI. Here's the blood spatter. Here's the fingerprints here. Nope, he says, I didn't do it. And I lost it. I just went ballistic. Did you lie to me? I'm going to ask you one more time. Did you lie to your father? He came off the ground. It was great. His legs shot out. I know he pooped himself a little bit. A mother was working in the kitchen, listening to her 5-year-old son playing with his new electric train in the living room. She heard the train stopping by her son saying, all of you sons of bitches who want off, get the hell off now, 'cause this is the last stop. And all of you who want on the train, get the fuck on, 'cause we're going down the tracks. The horrified mother went in and told her son, we don't use that kind of language in this house. Now I want you to go to your room and stay there for 2 hours. When you come out, you may play with your train, but I want you to use nice language. 2 hours later, the son came out of the bedroom. The little emperor resumed playing with his train. Soon, the train stopped. The mother heard her son say, all passengers who are disembarking the train, please remember to take all of your belongings with you. We thank you for traveling with us today and hope your trip was a pleasant one. Then she hears the little boy continue, for those of you just boarding, we ask you to stow all of your hand luggage under your seat. Remember, there is no smoking on the train. We hope you will have a pleasant and relaxing journey with us today. As the mother began to smile, the child added, for those of you who are pissed off about the 2-hour delay, please see the bitch in the kitchen. Friendly advice to single young adults. Before you have kids travel, see the world when you first get together, go places, 'cause once you have children, you're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's all you're going to get to do. That's your Europe. That's your France. That's your Bermuda. Chuck E. Cheese, is it? There's people here who are over 50 with no kids. They don't look old. Look at people with no kids. You don't see them with wrinkles. They just sit there. Oh my God. They comment, we're going Jamaica next week. And people with kids say, you don't know the joy, you don't know the joy, while they are trying to make you have kids that you need some, they exclaim, look how happy I am, shut the fuck up. An elderly man in Phoenix calls his son in New York and he says, I hate to ruin your day, but I have to tell you that your mother and I are divorcing. 45 years of misery is enough. Dad, what are you talking about? The son screams. The dad continues, we can't stand the sight of each other any longer. We're sick of each other and I'm sick of talking about this, so you call your sister in Chicago and tell her that. He hangs up. Frantic, the son calls his sister, who explodes on the phone. Like heck, they're getting divorced, she shouts. I'll take care of this. She calls Phoenix immediately and screams at the old man, You are not getting divorced. Don't do a single thing until I'm there. I'm calling my brother back and we'll both be there tomorrow. Until then, don't do a thing, do you hear me? And hangs up. The old man hangs up his phone and turns to his wife. Okay, he says. They're coming for Thanksgiving and paying their own fares. Now, what do we tell them for Christmas?